Hello everyone. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use uh, human IK script Autorig that I put in the channel a few months ago with the Metahuman and assign animation, assign a motion capture and modify it, and also assign different piece of animation together to make a unique animation. And I have a request from you. Please download this script from my channel. And if you like this script, please like the video and subscribe. And please don't download it from different sources because nobody has permission from me to put the script or anything from this channel to their channel. So I have received a lot of comments that people saying the script is not working, and they assume the reason that the script is not working is that they are using the newer version of Metahuman. Actually, this script works with older version of Metahuman. There is no problem, and I have tested it, and I'm going to tell you what you may do wrong that the script doesn't work. So, in order to script to work, you need a fresh metahuman. Your metahuman should be just you export the metahuman from Bridge, and you need to be on ZUp, which you can go to the preferences, and here actually I'm looking for it here to setting and ZUp. You should be on ZUp because this is the default metahuman way. Actually, if you are not, be on ZUp. By default, you are on ZUp when you import it. And don't change anything. Don't change character or just anything. And just copy the whole thing. And here in script editor, you have two sections, Python and mail. It should be on mail, not Python. And then after pasting it, control and enter, and our character is ready. It works with any metahuman. So this rig is actually human IK rig. And in order to modify motion capture and dealing with motion capture, you need human IK rig. If you are using other rigs, they are not good for motion capture, and please just use human IK because it gives you a lot of capabilities that other rigs don't. And especially it works natively with Maya, and you will have, as I'm going to show you how it works with Maya, and you have a lot of you will have an easier time working with Maya with different tool if you are using human IK. And please stop some people don't know because it's not how this rig is working, and they are comparing it to other rigs and they say it's broken. It's not broken. It's absolutely okay. It has no bug. It works fine, but it works differently, and I will tell you what's the differences very quick, but I'm going to have a lot of tutorial explaining this rig and how to modifying animation and everything. But for now, just for example, these control rigs, that the red one, they are IK controller, and they are different. They are not connected to anything, so their coordination is on world. This is one of the differences. Because they are on world, you are able to, on world space, you are able to do many interesting stuff, like let's say you can do something, and let me show you. You can attach the controller somewhere and you can do some interesting stuff with it, because they are not attached to anything other than control reference that you are not using for animation actually. So I'm going to explain these things and in upcoming videos. But please stop saying that this rig is not working, it's broken. It's different than something like advanced skeleton. Advanced skeleton is good for making hand animation. This rig is an absolutely awesome rig and a must to have rig for motion capture, for controlling motion capture, and it has many features than other rigs don't have, and it is just work awesome with motion capture. Maybe it's not the best rig for hand animation, because for example, if you have a rig for hand animation, you can have some controller here, so you can have some automation bending or something. Also, of course, you can add these features into this rig. There is no limitation. You can just write something to add this feature for this rig. But out of the box, maybe it's not the best rig for hand animation, but absolutely the best rig for motion capture. Okay, so after rigging our character, we are going to put an animation on it. So now it's time to download the animation from Mixamo, and I chose this animation. It's not playing for some reason. Let's reload it. And I chose the catwalk forward, and I'm going to use this animation. I download it and I choose FBX with the skin 30 frame, and now here I'm going to change the frame rate to 30 frame, and I'm going to import the downloaded animation. Download, this is the animation, and now I'm going to select pelvis joint and right click on it and select assume preferred angle, and it's going to set the character on T-stand. Now I need to characterize the new character. So I'm going to the definition and click add button and select the join and click on this icon and select HIK, and after it turned green, I lock it. So character 2 is the character that has animation, and character 1 is my metahuman. Now I'm back to my metahuman character 1. Maybe I can rename it as metahuman. Alright. Now I select the source instead of control rig. I select character 2. Now the metahuman is having the same animation as the character. So I'm going to set the timeline. It's only 36 frame. And now I want to bake the animation. It's very easy to bake. Bake from this menu, bake and bake to control rig. and it bakes the animation. Now I don't need the character anymore, and I'm going to delete it, and it bakes to the controller. So sometimes when you import or retarget an animation, you may have problem with the fingers almost all the time. So it's pretty easy to fix that inside Maya. So assuming that at this pose the fingers need to be on a natural pose, I'm going to put them on a natural pose. So I'm going to select one controller while I am on body part, and select the other controller and adding it to an animation layer. While I am on body part, now I can select stand, and it fixed the finger position. If I'm on full body, it goes for the full body, but I just want it for the fingers, so I'm going to body part. And when it is on my desired position, I can do whatever I want. I can have any other position. So I'm going to have a keyframe here, and for the other hand to have a keyframe, and let's take a look at it. Now the fingers look way better, right? But still not perfect. So for example, I know that the finger is not supposed to be like that, so I'm going to change this to a natural position, keyframe, and I don't need this keyframe anymore because this is going to be my original position. And for the other finger, let me see if it has anything that I don't like. No, the other finger looks fine. So now we fix the finger issue, and the next step is to use this animation with time editor to fix another animation that I used for the cloth simulation, and I'm going to extend the walking. Now, because this animation is used for cloth simulation, and we may use some type of cloth like the one that I did before, we need to stretch her hand a little bit so it is not going to interact with the cloth. So I'm going to keep her hand away from cloth a little bit, and I'm adding keyframe so it won't interact with the cloth. I think it's enough. Maybe it's a little bit too much. A little. Now it's time to loop it, and now I'm going to time it. Actually, I need to bake the animation before doing to time editor, so I'm going to select both layers and I'm going to merge them so the animation getting baked to one single layer. And now I'm going to time editor, and here's the magical part. Because I'm using the Metahuman Human IK rig, let me fix this problem. Human IK rig, I easily can work with time editor, and I can transfer the animation from this human IK character to another human IK character. And the only thing that I need, just select one controller and just add the animation to it, right? And look at this. Maybe you have problem. You assume that you have to have the character without going forward, and you have to add the forward animation afterward, which is not necessary. Actually, we can select the loop tool, and as I am doing this, the forward animation is working too. Okay, that's enough. Maybe a little bit more for to have a room to work with. And let's actually select the clipping issue with the camera, and here I'm going to select the camera, and on far clipping I'm going to select, like, I have another 0, and we have this. And now I'm going to bake down this loop and select bake to a new clip. And it takes a minute. It's done. Now I'm going to delete this one, and I have a bake down animation for the loop. And I'm going to export the animation. The shortcut is Control E. And here I'm going to catwalk long. All right. So it's being exported. Now, after that, I'm going to open another scene that has already animation on it. Instead of attaching different animations like stop, walking, stop, and doing motion, and turn back and walking again, I'm going to use an animation that has already all the animation attached together, and I'm going to add this walk cycle to that animation. So I will have a long walk with that motion, catwalk motion too. So I don't need the scene anymore. So I'm going to open this animation, and I'm going to combine this animation. I'm actually editing the animation to have the longer catwalk. As you can see right now, it has a short catwalk, but I want it to be longer. So the first thing I need to do is to rename my character, because it needs to have the same name as the animation that we exported, and we named it Metahuman, and I'm going to name this Metahuman too. And I'm going to first convert this animation to clip, and by clicking on this button I can do that. And now I have the animation clip, and I'm going to cut the animation. Now the icon is a little bit similar. This one is for scaling, that you can scale an animation. It is like making it shorter so it is faster. And this one is actually for cutting or leaving some animation behind. So I'm going to cut this clip a little bit and putting this away. And extending the timeline, and I'm going to import the clip. So I'm going to put this away a little far away so it's not going to blend with the other clip. and I'm going to import animation, and this is my clip, and it's going to looking for the name for Metahuman. If it can find the name, it's going to be applied to this character, and it takes a few seconds. So yes, it's imported, and we just select, because we don't have any namespace here, we just select and apply. And if we have, for the namespaces, it actually says if we have different, we want to apply to different character, we use the namespaces. And I'm going to cover this stuff in another, in upcoming videos. So let's start from frame 0, and I'm going to do that. And here, where the character is going to stop, I want to start the animation. So I'm going to do something. So I'm going to select some portion of animation that I know that is in the end of the walk, which is here. And I'm going to duplicate this body as a reference. So and I also need actually let's change the direction of this character. That's when we can use the control reference, and minus 90. Oh, actually we did that. No, it's okay. Oh, because if we use for control reference, we are applying for both character. So both animations. So we don't want to do that. Instead, we are going to do something else. We are going to make a control reference for this specific animation. So I'm going to make create locator. Let me here, locator, relocate, create a locator, and it makes me an empty object that I can use for the locator. If I move it, see the character moves it. And the good part is you can actually animate this too. It is very useful for blend animation. So for now, I just want to change the direction of animation, and I want to move the pivot of the locator. So I'm going to press D so I can move the pivot, and I want to pivot to be exactly at the center of the scene. And I'm going to press D to exit the pivot mode, and I'm going to change it 90 degrees. So because I cannot use it here, I can in channel box. I don't have 0 right now, and so I cannot enter 90 degree. I have another trick, so I can use actually district move, and now I guess I can just move it 90 degree. Yes, and even weirdly it just goes 90 degree. Anyway, let's see if it is working. Now both characters are in the same direction, both animation actually. but it seems that I want to make sure that it's actually on a plane. This one is a little bit into the plane, you see that? So we are going to fix that. So I'm going to make another locator for this animation and create locator, and I'm saving the scene, and we are going to move this a little bit so it's not penetrating. And I also noticed that here we have a problem. We're going to fix that later. And so let's see, both of them are at the same level. Yes. Now I want to know where the character is actually going to stop, and this is the frame that she's going to stop, and I'm going to remove the other frames, and I'm going to have a duplicate object for my reference, and I'm going to move this. Let's fix the camera. Unlock, and let's move this center of it, and let's see. Now I want to find the time that the character is exactly at this position. So as you can see, this is not the time, and we have a little room here, and so this should be this one. So let me see. Actually, this is the correct one. Maybe a little bit further. No. This looks okay. So I'm going to cut this from this frame. And now I'm able to attach these guys together. So I'm going to select the first locator that is related to this animation. Actually, I can do something else. I'm going to select this controller, and here I'm going to select this clip and right click, and I'm going to, let me find it because it's been a while that I have not used that tool, and relocate, I think. Create locate, match relocator. Yeah, this is the one. And I'm going to tell the tool to move the character to this location based on the selected controller, and it's for the previous animation, because I selected this animation, and I'm going to say for previous, and I don't want to apply rotation. I just want location, and even I can say not include y location, which is the height, just x and z location, and I'm going to apply it. Apply, match. Okay. Actually, I need to select to be on the other animation. So let's select locator, and do it again. Oh, there's a problem here. I get it. I think the problem is it's just applied for the Y, which is wrong. As you can see, it already applied, but it's for Y. So let's redo it, and let's see what we do wrong. Project along Y, only Y. This is the wrong one. So there is no way to ignore the Y. We have to do the full XYZ and match, and it should go there. Yeah. So the Y is actually wrong, and I guess the problem is because the let me actually select FK to see if we can make it different. No, there is none. Let's select pelvis to see. No. So actually it doesn't work the way that I expected. So I'm going to do fix it manually. So we have a locator here. Locator is here. And as we move the locator, we can manually fix it. Actually, let's have the clip here. And I'm going to change the pivot of locator, and let's see the exact position that we need for the character. Okay, great. Now we should have a somehow good animation, but there is going to be a little bit shaking, right? That we are going to fix it. We are going to blend these two together a little bit, not too much. Okay, I can see there is a little bit of way shifting here that we are going to fix it. Let me see if I blend them a little bit more. Yeah, that is more natural. A little bit more. Nice. And the finger for the other animation is a little bit weird here. Let me see if I have any animation layer. No. I will fix this problem later. Yeah, nice. It nicely blends with the other animation. Alright. Now we are going to continue on, and this is the move and this is the way back. And we are going to use the same animation, the same walk, but we are going to have it the way back. So I'm going to press Ctrl C, and Control V. So we have another clip here. So we wanted to back, right? So we have to make another locator here. Create locator. Oh, create locator. And we want the locator actually. Let's do something a little bit more interesting. I'm going to group the locator. So locator is in another group, so it's 0, right? And I'm going to, yeah, it is in the, let me see, the pivot is exactly where I want it to be, and I'm going to rotate it up. Am I still on pivot mode? No. Let me see. Yeah, it seems that we cannot group the locator, so this is another interesting fact that we just figured out. So we have to rotate it 90 degree or 100 degree actually, and we have to change the starting point. So let's see, actually let's do the same thing that we did for the other clip. Here we have a turn, right? And I'm going to use, and it's good if you want to blend animation, don't blend them. If you have a motion like a turn or a different phase, it's very good that you use that phase changing for blending animation, because it's kind of hide your mistakes and is acceptable. So I'm going to duplicate object of this one too, and let's see what we have here. So maybe it's better to give this another color so I know what's and let's use this so I know this is the other output. So it's wrong. We need to have this one. And let me see, actually this is the end of the animation. Here we have, so let's change the locator. Yes, it seems that this is the perfect match. So leading foot again, and this is going to be this, and I think it's perfect. I'm going to cut it, move it, and let's see. Yeah, that's good. And let's blend them together. Let's delete this and let's take a look at the animation. Looks good. And I think we are finished now. And it backs to the original position. Let's see if we can blend them a little bit more. Yes, it looks okay. Or even a little bit more. sometimes when you blend them, you should find the sweet spot for blending. You see, this is kind of a natural, but actually not, because if the other food is not landing, this food should not move, right? So this is the time that we need to blend them. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, now let's finish it up. I'm not going to delete this, but I'm going to bake the animation to the control rig. So I'm going to bake to the human IK and bake the animation to control rig. I think my mouse is kind of... So after baking the animation to control rig, I'm going to disable this clip and start modifying some things like fingers or anything else that we need to work on. So I'm going to now, let's save it. So we are not, right now it is actually reading the clip, right? It doesn't respect the animation that we just be having the scene. So I'm going to disable the clip, and we don't need this one which is extra. So right now I'm able to apply change animation, and we don't need the time slider, but I'm keeping it here just in case. If I need to change it, I'm not going to delete it. I keep it here in the scene, I just disable it. So let's actually fix a couple of things. I mean, I noticed that the fingers are kind of weird. I don't know why it happened. Anyway, probably I made a mistake in the previous one, but I'm going to fix it right now. So it's actually good that I can show you how to fix it on this situation. So I'm going to add a layer, but because I am on full body, I'm actually adding the whole controller, but we are not going to keyframe on full body, but we are going to body part. And I'm going to fix the finger, and here is something weird happening here. For some reason the finger is not relaxed, and I'm not sure why. This should not happen. This is not a problem that it should be considered normal, but it probably related to the characterization for the other character, because it was a long time ago and I didn't use the same position for characterizing fingers probably. So, but if you use this script, you are always using the same thing, so you should not have a problem with that. If you remember my first video that was related to fashion, and it was Marvelous Designer, it was actually the same animation, and it backs to a year ago. On that time I didn't use this script, and I used another position for the fingers. That's why we encounter a problem here. So just keep it in mind that if you want to retarget your metahuman and you want to combine animation, you want to have the same procedure for each of them, not differently, for the characterization process. So we have this layer, and we're going to disable it on, and this one is actually a little bit weird. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. No, it's kind of, I'm going to delete the other one. Let me see. Yeah, that's better. Nice. I'm going to save it, and we are going to disable the layer when she actually going to turn. Yeah, as you can see here, it goes weird, and here's the exactly, you can see in the curve editor where we need to disable the layer. So I'm going to add a keyframe here too, and I want a zero keyframe while I'm on body part. When exactly where? Here, I think. Yeah, 0 and 0. All right, it should work. Nice. Let's save it. Great, but we have to do it again for the way back, right? So we are going to because right now our fingers are on FK, we don't have a problem with copying the keyframe, but if it was on IK, you couldn't copy it. So because it's on FK, I'm going to add the keyframe again. So we have a 0, 1 here, and we are going to add our keyframe here. All right, and also for the same for the other hand. And this is the frame that we add the 0. I'm going to add the 0 here too. It is 0. And I'm going to copy this and add it here. Nice. Let's save it. Now it looks fine. I'm going to see if there is any other problem that we can fix. In transition area, we may have problems. So this is the transition area. I don't see much problem, but if you have sliding problem, because a little bit of sliding is okay, it's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm going to fix this sliding for you so you know the procedure. And I'm going to base layer, and I'm going to narrow my timeline to focus on that. So here we have a little bit of slide, right? So in order to fix that, you need to be on IK mode, which legs by default are on IK mode. And I'm going to delete a couple of frames that is moving and woggling and here, and I make sure that I am on body part because I don't want to delete the whole animation for the character. I'm going to, as you can see, it's already good, right? I think it's nice, but you could actually technically copy this frame and paste it here just to make it perfect. So it's a quick fix, and also I need to address this issue now. So for this one, let me see if I can see any other problem. I'm going to check the timeline in the blending time if I have another thing that I need to fix. Here is a little bit AB, we can fix it. So let's fix this one. This is an interesting one. And this one, I'm going to actually select the last one, which is here. And I'm going to delete these frames and I'm going to copy this frame and put it here. Nice. As you can see, this is still a little bit shaky. The problem is in the graph editor, and we need to flatten these curves. As you can see, we have fixed the problem. Nice. Save it. Let's fix the other problem that we had with this. So for this one, I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to first of all, let's see here, it's okay, or on which frames it has no problem. Let me see, it should be here. Okay, I'm going to actually delete the animation, but I don't want to delete the animation for the whole body part, but for selection. Selection means for this FK, actually FK, IK, it doesn't matter because it's on FK, but we are going to delete it anyway for avoid any confusion. And remember that I'm on selection mode, I'm not on body part mode. So I'm going to select this FK, and under this FK, here's a single node here for the toe. I need to find it. Leg, and it should be here. It's here. See that? I want to delete the animation for this guy. Actually, I can go here and select and delete selected. So I make sure, even if it's not in the timeline, I make sure that it's deleted. The same thing, actually it doesn't matter because it's not on IK, but here I'm going to select the FK animation, select this joint, press F, and it's here, go down, it's here, and select delete. So it doesn't have an animation. And I'm going to go to body part, and if I do that, it goes to default position, and I can just adjust the fingers and press key, and the same thing for this one too. so it should stay on the position. So we are done with our editing, and this one was a long tutorial, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. And we can actually bake the animation, but I'm not going to do that. We don't need to. If you want to export it for Unreal, you can go here and export selection, and on selection, actually, let's see, export selection, you just select the body and export selection, and you need to export it as FBX. And in the FBX option, you have an option for baking the animation, so you don't need to destroy your layers if you have, and you can keep the Maya scene clean, and you don't need to bake it all. So just like take a look, let's take a look at the character and to see if everything's working the way we want it. Actually, let's have the shoes to this is long animation, so this is just looping, and here's the transition. I just want to show you the transition, that it goes smoothly. Yeah, here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe I could use another animation. This one is not really very smooth for catwalk, and if you want to download different catwalk, you can find in character creator animation library, or you can maybe we could use another catwalk from the Mixamore library. The animation is not very good and very realistic, but anyway, this is the procedure that you can actually combine animation and change the animations and attach or make a new animation variant. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned and subscribe and use the script, and I'm going to add more free scripts to the channel, so please download the script from this channel, not any other place.